Today, these fearmongers have all got a supreme jolt. The Supreme Court's interim order on the Waqf Amendment Act is nothing short of a thunderbolt. By refusing to stay the law in its entirety, the court has sent a blunt message. The era of unchecked Waqf land claims and quote Muslim first unquote appeasement cannot continue unquestioned. That's the message that has come from the pulpit of the Supreme Court. For decades, pseudo-secular politics shielded the Waqf boards, granting them exceptional powers over property. They could take over the property of any denomination in this country without batting an eyelid. Today, that exceptionalism has been stayed, curbed, call it what you wish. The Supreme Court has upheld the constitutional presumption, and these are not my words, these are the Supreme Court's words of Parliament's Act. So, the constitutional presumption behind the Parliament's Act has been upheld, signalling that reforms introduced by the NDA government were neither arbitrary nor communal, but corrective. The Supreme Court backs the NDA on the Waqf Act, the Waqf Amendment Act largely intact in the interim, presumption of constitutionality reaffirmed, presumption of constitutionality. Most provisions enforced to curb exceptionalism. 3 provisions stayed, but only till NDA notifies the rules. The move to override Waqf by user upheld by the Supreme Court, viewers. Upheld. Crucially, 3 controversial clauses have been stayed, but these are the exception, not the rule. 5-year Islam practice rule for property dedication, which the government had already begun to water down in its arguments before the Supreme Court. So it's not really something that's going against the government's intent. The collector's powers to decide Waqf property disputes, and most importantly, that non-Muslim seats on Central Waqf Board will be capped to 4, which is an assurance that in fact the centre gave to the court. The big picture is clear. Minority appeasement dressed up as secularism has hit a judicial wall. The message from the highest court is unmistakable: equality before law.